And welcome inside the warm, the toasty, the comfortably warm Family Arena here in St. Charles, Missouri. Jason Troop alongside my partner, as always, Craig Fada. And Craig, boy, is it cold outside, but we are warming up the place inside tonight. We've got a doubleheader tonight. The front runner for the MVP is here as well, and Justin Bocott, he'll be playing in Game 2 here tonight. But to get things started off, it's the Windy City Groove, the St. Louis RiverSharks as well. Groove fresh off a game last night. River City, it's been almost 2 weeks since they've been on the floor as well. It's going to be an exciting atmosphere here on this Thursday night in the MPBA.
Yeah, the Groove were involved in a hot one last night up in Chicago against their building mates, the Chicago Force. Came down to a last-second three-point attempt that would have tied it by the Groove. It was a back-and-forth game. The Force took the final lead with 1:22 left in the contest, so it was a back-and-forth battle all night long. The Groove may be a little worn out coming into this one, not even having a full 24 hours rest. They're also playing a little bit shorthanded. They had some players unavailable because of a weather situation up in Chicago and then a family emergency, and so they're going to be without their leading scorer tonight and a couple of other key players. So we are going to see how that develops, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on as well.
Sure, but it's also the other side as well. The RiverSharks, maybe they're rusty. It's been a couple of weeks as well. They've got a new player on their roster. We'll talk a little bit more about Mr. Good, a former NBA Developmental League draft pick as well. So a couple of changes on the roster when we talk about that as well. Should be a fun one tonight. And again, as I said, Game 2 later on tonight. We'll talk more about that. But always looking forward to seeing the Flex come in town. They've got a great roster, stacked full of some great talent as well, especially some St. Louis guys here tonight with the RiverSharks and the Gateways team. Looking forward to that as well. We'll take a quick break on the other side of this timeout. Let's break down some numbers. We'll check out some of the leading scores. We'll check out these two teams on paper and to see what we can delve into as well as we get set for tip-off. It is the Groove and the RiverSharks tipping off here in a matter of minutes right here inside the Family Arena. We'll bring it to you live on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not have the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Arena getting set for Game 1 of our doubleheader, and actually a tripleheader on the MPBA Broadcasting Network here tonight. Jason Troop alongside Craig Fane. It's the St. Louis RiverSharks coming into action tonight, 5-2 record, and all 5 of those wins have come right here on their home court. 5-0 here at the Family Arena. Head coach, of course, Al Grushkin. We've had a chance to visit with him over the course of the last couple of weeks or so, and had a chance to catch up with him briefly to talk about Marcus Good, a recent addition to the St. Louis RiverSharks roster, a guy that played at Benedict College most recently. He's a former draft pick by the Erie Bayhawks of the NBA Developmental League, and a guy that's certainly going to provide some size in the front court for this team to kind of team him up with Keith Dewitt, who's having a fantastic season so far as well.
Yeah, Good was a 2-time Division II All-American at Benedict College, 2-time Player of the Year in his conference as well. So this is a guy who can get it done. He's just got to get himself into a little bit of game shape. Al Grushkin said he can go top speed for about 4 minutes, which, for me, that's pretty good. I'd be thrilled to do that. But, we'll see him in stretches tonight until he works himself into game shape. And, maybe he'll be headed back to the D-League in a couple weeks. Who knows? But this is a great opportunity for him to really showcase and develop his talents, get back to the next level. And it's going to be very difficult for the players in this league who are not accustomed to dealing with a guy this size that has that quality as far as the nimble feet and the soft hands. Usually when a guy is at this level and he's got some size, he's got some glaring holes. Either he's got bad hands or he's got bad feet. He's got the package. He just needs to put it all together.
Yeah, unlucky break for him. Drafted, played one game, broke his hand.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this NBA and what's going on. It's giving guys like that an opportunity. Maybe somebody that was looked over coming out of college a little bit as well. A chance that maybe they haven't grown into themselves as far as basketball players are concerned as well. So it's going to be interesting to see him out on the floor. Not starting tonight, but I know he'll be a heavy part of the rotation. And then you flip it on the other side and you take a look at the Groove, and Windy City coming in here with a 2-6 record. And as you said at the top, coming off a game last night, so will they have their legs under them? We'll see. We'll know that here in just a bit. But they do have Nate Fuqua back in the lineup. He's missed some time with a broken finger on his shooting hand, averaging 15.7 a game so far this year. A very talented player in his own right.
Well, they made a couple of additions along the way, the Windy City Groove have, and he's gotten some help. Jordan Johnson has come in. They brought in Andre Johnson. He's unfortunately unavailable tonight because, we talked about that in the open. There were some weather issues up in Chicago which caused guys to not be able to make the trip.
Where aren't there weather issues right now?
Yeah, it was particularly brutal up in Chicago last night. I can attest to that because I was up there doing that game. And so they had one guy with a family emergency not make it, so they had to have an emergency activation from their roster. Josefa Almale, who actually had a pretty good game last night. He scored 9 points. Came in, was going to be inactive today, but due to the situation, the league allowed him to be activated to play tonight. And so he is on court and in uniform today. He will be starting, as a matter of fact, for Lachelle Sanders, who, by the way, is substituting a couple of games for James Fleming. Lachelle Sanders, the owner and GM of the Windy City Groove. She coached the team last night in Chicago. She'll coach them today, and I believe she'll coach them again Sunday before James Fleming takes back over. He was unable to travel, so there was a lot of issues. Yeah, everything was just frozen up in Chicago. It was brutal up there last night, and so we'll see how Chicago responds, or rather Windy City responds, because they were in the game last night. They had a chance to tie it with a bucket at the end. Got a good look at a straight-on three-point shot. They held the lead for about half the game. Held a big lead early, in fact, and then the Force just kind of reeled them back in, and so. We'll see how they, how they have their legs under them, how they do a little bit shorthanded. Sometimes adversity is good for a team. They'll go, no, you know what, we're going to band together. We're really going to get it done. And, maybe the RiverSharks are going to be facing a little ring rust, as you said, not having played a game in a couple of weeks. You always wonder, is it going to be the same when you get back into game speed? Of course, knowing Al Grushkin the way we know him, I can't imagine that he would let them lollygag too much in practice. So I would anticipate that the RiverSharks are going to be ready to go.
And like we said, too, RiverSharks 5-0 on their home floor, so clearly they're comfortable playing here in this building as well. Tell me a little bit about the style for Windy City. The one thing that I'm liking as we're nearing, I guess, the midway point here in the season is that we're starting to see a little bit more crossover. The St. Louis teams are starting to play the Chicago teams a bit more, starting to play the Champaign teams a little bit more, so we're seeing a little more in depth as far as the league is concerned around. Tell me a little bit about Windy City, what you see on the floor from them, what kind of style are they going to play, and what is St. Louis going to have to deal with?
Well, Windy City appeared to be a little bit more up-tempo last night. You look at their season scoring average, they're only scoring about 87 points a game offensively, but last night they had the pedal down at times. They'd get a rebound or an outlet, and they'd be running. And that was something that I don't recall seeing out of them before. Lachelle Sanders, she was up and imploring her team, get down the court. And, that got into some easy transition buckets for them. But, again, a couple of the guys who were able to do that are not going to be available tonight. So we'll see. Sam Morgan back off the injured reserve list for Windy City. He's going to be seeing his first action, I believe, since a couple weeks ago. Dana Givens back from IR as well. He has not seen much action, but he saw some good minutes last night. So, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag, I think, here for St. Louis.
Let's step aside real quick, and on the other side of this timeout, we are going to bring you live coverage right here in high definition on the MPBA Broadcasting Network. The RiverSharks and the Windy City Groove tipping off in a matter of minutes. We'll be back with it after this.
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it.
He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
Back inside the Family Arena, RiverSharks and the Windy City Groove getting set to tip off. And for the visiting Windy City Groove, a different look in the starting lineup here tonight. First at guard, Kenyon Smith out of the University of Southern Indiana is going to get the go. 5'11", 185-pounder, averaging about 7.5 points a game there. Nate Fuqua, talked a lot about him, the leading scorer for the Groove, averaging just under 16 a game. He'll be in the front court as well, or pardon me, in the back court as well. 6'2" guard, 6'5" guard, Hosaifa Al-Malay. Again, just added to this roster with the traveling issues we have discussed. He's going to be out there in the back court as well. And then, of course, Christopher Dillard and Levante Douglas, the two big boys getting the start. Dillard 6'7", 185. Levante Douglas 6'7", 195. That for the Windy City Groove. On the flip side for the St. Louis RiverSharks, your typical starting five. The St. Louis native and former Billiken Dwayne Polk getting the start at guard. He'll be joined out there by Brandon Hogg. He's the leading scorer at 19 points a game for the RiverSharks. Also in the backcourt, Terry Evans. He'll be joined by Terry Leak and Keith Dewitt, 17.5 points, 9 rebounds per game, leading the way for the RiverSharks as well. So again, for the Groove, it's Smith, Fuqua, Al-Malay, Dillard, and Douglas. For the RiverSharks, Polk, Hogg, Evans, Leak, and Keith Dewitt. We'll see Marcus Good coming off the bench. Hopefully here early into the ballgame. Really interested to see what he can do. Certainly worked up quite a sweat during warm-ups as well. So that's your starting five on either side. We've already talked about the two matchups. The big number that you touched on, Greg, the Groove averaging just over 86 points per game. The RiverSharks just under 104. Something's going to have to give on those two numbers here tonight. Should be an interesting one to see which team is able to, I guess, force their will at the beginning of this contest. We've seen the RiverSharks a lot this season, opening up with a lot of play underneath, and I'm not sure that the Groove have the size down low or the skill down low to handle a DeWitt, Good, Terry Leak, Terry Evans down there. It's a pretty good group down there.
Especially not with their biggest player, Andre Johnson, out. Did not make the trip. They're without their leading scorer, Darren Johnson, and so they're going to be facing an uphill battle. But with a guy like Nate Fuqua on the floor, he's capable of a special effort every now and again offensively to kind of take the game over, take his team over, and he did that in the second half last night. And I kind of said that, having watched him play for 3 years in Bloomington, saying, you know what, when this gets close in the second half, you're going to see Nate Fuqua get to be more active. He didn't have any points in the first half, and then in the second half, he was very active. He was all over the place. And so, crafty veteran move by Fuqua to kind of, I don't want to say slow play it, but, take over when he needed to.
A couple of great shooters on the floor here tonight. Nate Fuqua, as we've been talking about for the Groove, and really interested to see if Kenny McGowan can continue where he left off for his last game as well for the RiverSharks, was just knocking down threes left and right. He's shooting just under 37% from distance himself, so should be a fun matchup. As you're tuning into the broadcast, see the Groove there in the black, and it's the RiverSharks in the white jerseys, and at the center circle to jump it, that's Chris Dillard for the Groove, and of course Keith DeWitt in the center circle, the North Carolina native, getting set for the tip-off in this one. Looks like we're set and ready to go. Clock says 12. Pointing out the matchups on the floor.
Moving the chess pieces around a little bit.
Fuqua coming back to the other side of the ball, and here we go. Up in the air, and DeWitt tips it with that wrapped hand.
Yeah, he's battling a hand injury as well.
See if that affects his touchdown low. We've talked about how good he's been with the ball down in the paint. Swung around to the left side. That's Brandon Hogg with it. He's on the wing, looking down low. DeWitt spins away, now comes back for the screen. Kicked over right side to Polk. Now back to Hogg. Stutter step, now left side. There's a shot from Malik on the way, and he buried the first triple of the game. The RiverSharks started out well. Nice movement offensively. And they're going to pick up full court defensively as well, as Al Malay had the basketball, but he'll give it up left side. Kenyon Smith. Smith, the guy that can really get it to the basket.
Al Malay, the emergency activation.
Baseline jumper a bit short. Rebound snared by Terry Evans.
Earned the start tonight. He scored 9 points last night.
Polk with the basketball in the wing. Now kicked in the corner to Hogg. Trying to get it down low, but it's knocked out away. Nice defense by Douglas.
Douglas had a good game last night. He was very active, tipped away some balls like that.
Inbound at far side into Polk. And the former Billiken, he'll fire it into the corner to Hogg. Hogg back out to Polk. Passed up the three-pointer up top. Now it's down on the block. Passing it all around. Good ball movement. Now Hogg at the stutter step to the basket. Off the window and in. Nice take there by Brandon Hogg. And good ball movement offensively to set it up.
Yeah, that was great ball movement by St. Louis, and it resulted in an easy layup.
Here's Nate Fuqua. Left side to Smith. They look it up top. That's Al Malay. Back to Fuqua again. This guy could shoot step back. Thought about it. Instead, he's going to dish it right elbow. There's a take to the rack by Douglas. Crossing over. He throws up an off-balance shot. Following it up with a two-handed flush, though, is Chris Dillard.
Dillard showing some ups there. The 6'7" Finger high school product got up and got the miss, and they're going to say, yeah, that was an alley-oop.
Absolutely. Give him an assist. Whistle blows on the floor. He was knocked out of bounds, I believe, was the call.
That was kicked.
5-2 your early score. RiverSharks with the lead. Hogg kicks it right side again. That's Evans looking down low. The Terrys playing together, and now a 3-second violation. That's going to be on Dillard. Said Finger High School. Tell me a little bit more about Dillard. Do you know anything else about him? I mean, I know he's from Finger High School. Did he play collegiately? Do you know anything? He's a new name for me.
Did not play collegiately, but he's been with them since the beginning. But he's one of those athletic guys who just couldn't find his way into a college program.
Yeah, I ask you that because the high school, it's a lot of these guys went to at least small colleges. This guy's straight out of high school. Any other players straight out of high school in the MPBA that you're aware of, Greg?
Yep, absolutely.
In the corner, that's Hogg. 3-ball on the way, and he buried it again. Sharks 2 for 2 from distance already, and they're picking up defensively to start things off. It's finally broken, though. Kenyon Smith will take it across the timeline down to Fuqua, right back to Smith. Trying to get to the rack. Instead, he'll dish it off left side. Nice pass down to the baseline, but it's knocked away. And I'll tell you what, we were asking earlier about the RiverSharks. Are they going to come out flat? It's been a while since they've played a game. Al Grushkin's going to have them ready. Well, he does, and I like what he's doing early, too, putting the defensive pressure on, almost forcing the team to get into the game.
Yeah, that's a great observation. That's a great coaching move by Al Grushkin. And you saw Terry Leak go for a steal and then really hustle to get down court.
Good look down low there, and a turnaround shot up and good there by Keith DeWitt. Great look by Polk, and DeWitt with the finish. And now we got a foul call.
That was delay of game.
Delay of game
on
okay.
Terry Evans.
11-2 your score. RiverSharks on top here early.
Again, nice touch shown by Dewitt. We've seen that throughout this season.
Fuqua looking for the screen, steps around, and now a little give and go to the rack. The finger roll's not going to go, but bodies crash to the court, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Terry Leak.
Terry Leak, I believe he was inside the defensive arc.
Even if he wasn't, I don't think he was set well enough to get the charge call.
I think his heels were on the defensive arc.
First foul on the RiverSharks, first one on Leak. And at the stripe, that's Levante Douglas, the Missouri Western product. Eyes up the free throw, and it rattles around and pops out, no good. You said Douglas just the other night, a pretty good game yesterday. And 6 of 9 from the floor. Misses both free throws, though. Rebound by Dewitt. He's going to fire it up floor to Polk. Now up to Dewitt. Steps in. Out to Polk again on the wing, and into the corner it goes.
Boy, Chicago
DeWitt
trying to get another defensive 3-second call, I think, or Windy City, rather.
There's that turnaround jumper from Dewitt, no good.
They were sagging on the weak side.
Amelie with the basketball, trying to force a pass down low, and it's picked off cleanly by Leak, and he's going to bring it up court. Oh, tried to force a pass through the defense, threading the needle, and it got kicked out of bounds. It will stay with St. Louis, though, as he tried to force it to the leader of this team, Dwayne Polk, and we've got a couple of subs coming in. Here comes Gerald Brooks. All he did in his first game for the RiverSharks was put a 20 spot up last time out.
Demetrius Haywood in for Windy City as well, and now the big man Marcus Good getting set to check in for the first time.
Marcus Good.
Well, somebody's got to check out there before Good can check in. Okay, that's Terry Evans just meandering off the court on the far side.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be the one inbounding it, so.
Hogg with the basketball on the inbound. That's Kenyon Smith picking him up defensively. He'll go around him and now dish it right side. There's another three ball on the way. No good. Big rebound coming back out top. Kicked up in the air, though. Nice play by Haywood for the groove.
Everybody from St. Louis thought somebody else was going to get it.
Quickly the other direction, though, no good. And here comes the RiverSharks back the other direction. Hogg with a couple of moves. Still couldn't get past the defensive Haywood. Now into the lane. The shot up off the window and good. Leak slices through the defense and puts it off the window and in. And again, St. Louis putting some pressure on. Fuqua trying to take it all the way to the rack now. Turn around, that shot no good. Another one up and in. That's not going to be good, and they're going to count that one. Ball was in the cylinder, they say.
Yeah, I think it was in the ball was over the cylinder when Good made contact with the net and affected the rim, but I think DeWitt got a block in there first.
So here comes Gerald Brooks. He'll bring the basketball up the floor in the center circle now. Again being picked up by Demetrius Haywood. Now left side a Leak. Up top, that's Hogg with it. Wanted to get it to DeWitt. DeWitt wants this matchup. Just not a good pass. I don't know why he's posting up out in the middle of nowhere. And here comes an easy flush, and it's slammed in by Dillard.
A couple of dunks already from Dillard.
Not sure. I mean, DeWitt was posting up between the circles.
Yeah, that was, I don't know why he was trying to take it out there.
Little screen up top. Hogg thought about launching the three. Nice hedge, though, defensively, and now it's kicked right back out to Hogg again. He'll pass up the shot, take it to the rack, up off the window. Tried to draw contact, nothing there. DeWitt with the rebound, and he's fouled.
Actually, they're going to
get him.
Foul, yeah. That's first foul on DeWitt. Kenny McGowan checking in for St. Louis to replace Brandon Hogg.
13-6. It's the Sharks with the lead over the Groove. And here's Fuqua bouncing it up the court. Skipping up the court. And it's an illegal screen down low. They're going to catch Dillard.
First foul on Dillard.
Al Gruskin barking out the call to his offense here. Let's see if they can get Good. Going down low. And again, there's Kenny McGowan. Great shooter in his own right, averaging 10 a game. Real hot start last time. Right wing with it, Terry Leak. Now it's down to DeWitt. They think about double teaming. Now they do double team. Here they come. He's got to pass out of it. onto the wing. Here's a shot on the way. That one's way too strong. Tough rebound, though, and it kicks all the way back out to McGowan. Into the shot clock, though. They forgot about it. They're saying that shot hit the rim, though. I don't think it did. Yeah, Coach Grushkin saying it hit the rim. Did that one hit the rim? No,
nope.
no, it definitely didn't miss.
Nope, did not hit the rim.
Got the automatic replay going on here. Love it. 6:46 left in the first. 13-6. And here's a quick jumper. High rebound. Boy, Good almost just pulled that one off himself. Instead, it's off the window and in. Demetrius Haywood stayed with it.
No, Windy City's clawed their way back to within 5 after trailing 13-2.
To take to the rack there by one of the Terrys, or by Brooks, pardon me. The rebound put back. Dewitt gets it to roll in. Dewitt and Marcus Good on the floor yet, but I haven't seen him playing much of a big man game here. There's a take. That's Fuqua in traffic, so he dishes it out. Now back up top. Again, it goes to Haywood. Haywood, a ball fake. Between the legs on the left side, that's Kenyon Smith. The whistle's going to blow, and that's a violation. Down low, the 3-second defensive violation.
On number 52, Marcus Good.
6 minutes, 6 seconds left here in the first. And to the free throw line is Nate Fuqua, 69% free throw shooter. Was dealing with a dislocated finger on his left hand.
Checking in for the RiverSharks, number 35, James.
Missed the free throw. Hicks checks in for the RiverSharks. James Hicks out of Indiana Tech. 6'7", 2 1/4 are his numbers. Groove get it inbounded cleanly to Kenyon Smith. Pulls up, right elbow, shot no good. He comes in for the rebound. It was snared there by Brooks and then poked out of bounds. And now a timeout is going to be taken at the under 6 minute mark, 5 minutes, 58 seconds. We're going to step aside as well. It is 15-8, RiverSharks leading the Groove. Back after this.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Coming out of the timeout, Craig, here's that steal.
Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to set up a high pick and roll or what, but DeWitt was calling for it up at the top of the key. Got the ball stolen, and Windy City got the easy dunk out of it.
Yeah, Haywood can dunk it. He can jump. There's no doubt about that. Back to the action on the floor. That's DeWitt with it. Kicks it out top. Hesitated there by Brooks. Around a screen, down to the corner. It goes into the 3-ball on the way. That one's going to miss. RiverSharks hit the first 2 threes. They haven't connected since. And now an over-the-back foul called on James Hicks. Bit too aggressive underneath.
Yep, went up over the back.
And again, St. Louis pick it up. The 3/4 court, full court, 3/4 court. Pretty much the entire contest here is Terry Evans checks back in. Evans in for Leak. Here comes Windy City again. Kenyon Smith with the basketball. Looking for Haywood coming around the screen. Instead, it's Fuqua left side. The left-hander had his shot. I think he got a piece of it blocked, or they're going to call a foul. Yep, they got a foul. They're going to say Terry Evans. At least it looked like he was Evans got a piece of the head. Got a piece of the melon on the shot. That'll throw you off a bit.
Bit of a melon ball.
See, I like Fuqua. I like the players that have that one physical thing that just stands out so you know exactly who they are as soon as you see him. And he's got that long goatee at the free throw line as he rattles in the first one. Nate Fuqua from Iowa Wesleyan.
It was Battle of the Beards last night in Chicago as Nate Fuqua sporting that long beard, and I believe Antoine Ware for Chicago Force has a long beard as well. So
Fuqua knocks them both down. Maybe you ought to get that goatee you got going a little bit longer.
See, a few years ago, I had it quite a ways down.
I don't know if you can
People
catch
started
up to
calling
Fuqua,
me
though.
Comrade.
Yeah, you never want to be you never want to be confused for a red. That's for sure. It's a rebound, put back. No, stripped out of his hands. Nice job by Dewitt to keep it alive. Now it's kicked along the baseline. Jump shot from Hicks on the way. Bit short again. Tipped, kept alive, and finally Fuqua comes down with it. Just does stay in bounds. Thought he stepped on the baseline, but he maintained his balance and back the other direction he goes. Jump stop. He's got to do something with it. They let him get away with a travel. Now a jump shot from the right wing. No good, and the rebound right back in the hands of Brooks. He'll push it ahead. There's McGowan to the rack, swatted from behind.
Oh, my.
Haywood leaps into the air and knocks it aside.
Boy, talk about climbing the sky wire. Holy cats, did he get up.
There's an off-balance shot by Dillard that was missed, and St. Louis with the basketball again, leading by 5. With 4.5 minutes left in the first, and just why not launch a 3-ball, and Gerald Brooks drains it. One of those where you just step up and you say, I'm going to go. I feel this one going in, and he launched it. The Southern Miss product again had 20 points in his debut with the RiverSharks about 13 days ago. Hogg into the ball game. He's going to inbound it as well, coming around a screen. Nice play right off the rebound, and Gerald Brooks buries it again. Beautiful play on the inbound right around the screen, and Brooks, he's caught and shot that about 1,000 times in his life. Probably more than that. Ball kick right side. That's Kenyon Smith. He's going to bounce it down low off the window and in. Sam Morgan, who just checked in with the deuce. And McGowan back to the scoring table. Just to pick up something, though. Some loose change. Here's a swat down low, and a whistle's going to blow. Didn't see it. It was cut off. What'd you see, Craig? Foul down there somewhere. Foul on Sam Morgan.
Windy City Group foul on number 20, Sam Morgan.
And that'll send Evans to the free throw line for the RiverSharks.
For the St. Louis RiverSharks, number 41, Terry Evans.
Terry Evans, a 71% free throw shooter on the season.
He rolls around the rim and drops home. Evans, a guy that went to Wisconsin Green Bay, another St. Louis product. Hits them both. And a foul down low is going to be on James Hicks, and that's his second one. And both of them have been, one was over the back. He didn't like that call. Now that one he doesn't like it as well. He just seems like he's frustrated out there on the floor. Should be 2. Now the whistle blows. What do we stop and play here for just a moment before we inbound that basketball? 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first, 22-12. RiverSharks back up 10. Their largest lead, 13-2. Obviously in the early stages of this one. Fuqua to inbound in front of St. Louis's bench. And that'll be Dana Givens. Northern New Mexico product with a crossover up top of the key. Gets it up to Fuqua. He's double-teamed. Dishes it over to Givens. Right side Fuqua. He's going to launch the 3-ball. That's going to be a bit short. Rebound skied for and snared by a leak, and he'll get it ahead to Brooks, who fires it forward, trying to get it to Hicks, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, it was first tipped by Sam Morgan, and then it went off of Hicks.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Timeout, yep, Windy City's going to call a timeout on the right side. Again, it's 22-12. That's the use it or lose it timeout. We're going to step aside as well. It's 22-12 with 3:27 left on the clock. You're tuned in to the RiverSharks in the Groove on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
22-12, RiverSharks leading the Windy City Groove, who gets set to inbound it. Baseline to our left.
Dan Beauchamp and Ronnie Jones talking it over.
We've had great referee crews every single game, and I assume it's the same on the road as well, up in the Chicagoland area.
It really has been. You know, there's... You know, if you scratch your head a couple of times a game, I don't think that's unusual. But, you know, by and large, I think it's really been pretty solid.
Especially with a lot of expansion franchises here in the MPBA this year.
Yeah,
which means
guys
a lot of
not
people
used to playing at the pro level,
Absolutely.
what the pro expectations are.
Back to the action on the floor, and we've got a foul. Down low by Sam Morgan. It was away from the basketball. Morgan picks up his second.
That is going to be the second foul on Morgan.
And that'll be Brandon Hogg with it. Picks up the dribble, now left wing again to Brooks. Brooks down low, look at Leak powering his way to the basket, and he puts it off the window and in, just pushes his man out of the way. And now back the other direction, and boy, Leak got a bit too aggressive trying to knock that basketball away from behind, and Darius Haywood is on the ground, and he's hurting a bit.
Yeah, he tried to swat that ball from behind and basically swatted down Demetrius Haywood.
Haywood will head to the free throw line here. Just 1 for 5 this season from the stripe is Demetrius Haywood. Averaging 4 points a game. But again, it's Windy City is going to rely on a lot of other players tonight, if you will, in order to put some points up on the board as he misses the first one with all of the weather issues going on in Chicago. Fuqua gets his first break of the game. Kenyon Smith will replace him. Exactly 3 minutes left in the first, game 1 of 2 tonight. Next one is in. 23-13 and a pass to half court. Snared by Terry Leak. Into the corner it goes. That's Hogg with it. Lost it. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the RiverSharks. And it'll stay with Windy City. Or it'll go back to Windy City, pardon me. Haven't been any closer than 5. The difference right now, 10 at 23-13. And the RiverSharks are going to pick up full court. And pretty quick hands there to knock that one away.
Windy City trailed by as many as 11 at 13-2.
For those early three-pointers that St. Louis was able to hit. Now they're trapped in the corner. They haven't snagged, but Gwynn with the basketball now. He's going to fire it the other direction. That's nice. Smith now back outside. 3 ball on the way. No 3 ball. Couldn't get the rebound put back to go. Kick back to Haywood, and he walked with it. Yep.
He couldn't quite find the handle on it, but great job by the St. Louis RiverSharks getting back after they got beat on the press. They had, I think, Windy City had about a 4-on-2. They defended the ball well, stopped it, and that gave the rest of the defense time to catch up. And boy, Terry Leak gets away with a bit of a push there.
Using his size, he knows he's got it. Down low on his defenders. There's a nice hang in the air, and somehow that ball didn't go. Finally rebounded by Smith, puts it up off the glass and in. Near side to Hogg. Hogg, a little stutter step. He's going to try to knife to the rack himself. Throws it up off the glass. No good with the left, but He was fouled by Gibbons. And that'll be a foul on the floor, so St. Louis will inbound it just to our left here.
2:05 to play, first quarter.
Terry Leak to kick the inbound. And hold on one second. We've got another sub coming back into the contest. Jordan Johnson out of Rock Valley College. Lobbed in to Gerald Brooks. Brooks to Evans up top, and now down low to Hogg, and he was pushed on the backside. Yeah, he was. You could see the little forearm right into the small of his back.
Jordan Johnson checking in, drawing a foul right quick.
But, I mean, every spot on the floor, I mean, we always talk about size in the forward and center spot. Look at the guard spots, too. Windy City just does not have the size that the RiverSharks have. Really at any spot. Not only height, but girth, thickness. There's a bad pass. Stolen away. Here comes Haywood. He's ready to soar, and he flushes it again. That's 3 dunks for Haywood tonight. So I guess that leg's doing okay, and now it's stolen away once again. And now another foul committed by James Hicks.
Between he and Dillard, they're wrecking that rim down there.
Mr. Polk getting sent to check back in for the RiverSharks.
That's 3 fouls on Hicks now.
At the line for the Windy City Groove.
Looks like DeWitt's going to come in for Hicks as well. And at the free throw line, that's Kenyon Smith, 60% free throw shooter. He's hit 6 of 10 this year. Wears lucky number 13 and knocks down the first.
Checking in for the RiverSharks, number 5, Dwayne Polk.
So Polk is in for Brooks, and DeWitt will check in as well for the aforementioned James Hicks. 25-18, RiverSharks leading this one with $1:48 left in the first. That the 4th foul on the RiverSharks, so the next one, and we'll be shooting free throws for the remaining minute or so. Next free throw, that one misses short off the front rim, and it's grabbed by Terry Leak. Here's Polk back into the contest. He'll walk it across the timeline, now in the center circle, picked up by Gibbons defensively. Looking for a screen from DeWitt. He goes around it, now looks back to DeWitt, nothing there. Down low, Leak had it for a moment, now a long shot up top by Hogg, and he flushed it home. Way back, a good foot back from the three-point line by Hogg.
Back to a 10-point lead with 1:20 to play in this quarter. Windy City would like to get a little closer moving into the second quarter.
Shot fake by Johnson. He finally did launch. It wouldn't go, and now a quick pass along the baseline. That one knocked away as well. Quick hands by St. Louis. Back the other direction. Leak all alone, and he puts it off the glass. It is. Leak got down the court in a hurry. He wasn't cherry picking. He just picked it up.
Well, he's so fast, sometimes it looks like he cherry picks a little bit.
Now to the sideline it goes, and it skips past Jordan Johnson and into the Windy City bench.
That's a bad turnover there by Gibbons. He had a wide-open shooter on the wing and just whiffed on the pass.
54.3 left in the first, 30-18. St. Louis with the lead. Polk will get the ball in the inbound, and Gibbons will mark him all the way up the floor. You know, it's later on in the season when there's guys out there with wraps around the thumbs. They've got some knee braces on out there. I mean, this is you know, you're injured or you're hurt. Polk to the lane. He just lost the basketball, I think. Knocked away by Chris Dillard. Now back the other direction. Left off to Dillard. He cuts past a defender, throws it up. It was short and rebounded again by St. Louis, and here they go the other direction. Quick pass. There's an alley-oop, and DeWitt flushes it home. What a look. Leak to DeWitt.
That was beautiful. Nice job getting up court and getting there in a hurry. They might even get, no, they won't get another shot off, but just a great job. The ball, I don't think, touched the floor.
That's where you wish they had this secondary assist like they do in hockey.
Yeah.
It was a great job to get the whole thing started up top. Here's a little give-and-go pass to the rack. Just couldn't flush it home. That was Levante Douglas, and the horn's going to sound. That takes us to the end of one. 32-18 after one period of play here in the Family Arena. Jason Troop alongside Craig Fada will bring you back with his second quarter right after this on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not have the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
RiverSharks been getting up and down the floor real good tonight.
Yeah, no question. You see the long pass here after the steal and the nice easy lay-in. They, on one of the ensuing possessions after that, they got a nice fast break dunk where the ball never touched the floor the length of the court.
Yeah, I think that alley-oop play was really the exactly what we're talking about. Never touched the floor, good passing, and it's not just one or two players, it's everybody really sharing the basketball well here tonight for the RiverSharks. They lead at 32-18 as we start the second quarter. And it's the Groove with the basketball. Kenyon Smith running the point, and his pass almost stolen away. Terry Evans running track over there, leaping over the hurdles.
Well, the Groove had gotten to within 7 at 25-18. And then the RiverSharks went on a 7-0 run right there in the last minute.
Ball inbound here, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Right side of Fuqua, and they got a man just right on him. Don't let him shoot. Now, that's the right idea. If you're going to have him on the floor, make him drive. And there's a little step-back jumper. Too easy there. Malik's got to get a hand in his face somehow, or another nice job by Sam Morgan to bury the bucket.
Back down to 12 at 32-20.
Starting 5 on the floor here to open the second quarter for St. Louis. That's Polk. There's Dewitt. He had him wide open, couldn't get it. Now left wing 3 ball on the way, and it worked out better for Leak. I think Polk saw it, and he saw Leak's defender back off into the paint, so he fed it over to Leak instead of down low to Dewitt. Just didn't see it quick enough. It ended up working out just fine. Look at Polk overplaying defensively up top, making them go right, and there's a nice little jump shot up and in by Douglas. Polk again. Eyes his defender, Kenyon Smith. Waits for that high screen from DeWitt. Now Polk down the lane, kicks it out right side. He just buried another. Did he get one?
Yes,
too?
Yes, he did. From the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Terry Leak. This RiverSharks team's got some shooters. When Leak's out, McGowan can knock it down from distance as well. Let's not forget about Hogg. And now a nice offensive rebound. Put back up and in. Sam Morgan just had position down low.
Also got Kenny McGowan who can shoot the 3 ball.
Polk drives, now backs it off. To the hash mark he goes. Looking to go inside. Instead gives it up to Hogg. Back up top to Polk. Thought about the 3. And they're going to get him for a travel. Yep, shuffled his feet, pulled his foot up off the court. The veteran knew it.
Yep. It's like being in a restaurant and your eyes are bigger than your stomach. His feet were too fast for a shot.
When you go to the Chinese buffet and you come back with a plate that's 3 feet high, you'll never knock it all down. Right wing with it, that's Dillard. You can tell where my mind's at.
Don't bet against me.
As long as they've got the Mongolian grill, I'm in shape. Look at that nice little right-handed runner, a little floater right there. That's not easy. He made it look easy.
No, that's a really difficult shot.
Kenyon Smith with the bucket, 38-26. St. Louis with a 12-point lead, 9.5 left here in the second. Polk with the basketball, stutter step up top. And he said he'll back it back out again and find Hogg.
That's patience right there. Veteran point guard.
Hogg with Fuqua on him. He's going to lob it up to DeWitt.
Wow.
Flushes it in. Oh, what a lead with the left hand by Brandon Hogg.
Yeah, Brandon Hogg, I think he was waiting to see what the defense was going to do.
Now Dewitt with his steal. He's going to go coast to coast himself. There's a little finger roll at the end. He couldn't get it to go, but he gets his rebound. Still can't get it. Ball being banded about. Pinball underneath the rim, and it's finally taken away by Windy City.
Yeah, Levante Douglas with the block on Dewitt in there.
And there's a take to the rack. No, couldn't get it to go, and a little bump foul going to be called down low. That's on Leak.
That'll be his third.
I mean, he's holding his hands up in his air saying, listen, my hands were up in the air, but that wasn't the issue. It was the bump of the body that was the call. And I think he got the answer that he didn't want.
At the line for the Groove.
Is that 3 on Leak?
That is 3 on Leak. So Leak and Hicks each have 3.
I'm going to check back in Gerald Brooks here in just a moment as Morgan toes the free throw line. First one on the way, and it hits the back iron and pops straight out.
Checking in for the RiverSharks, number 14.
McGowan's going to check in as well.
And number 30, Kenny McGowan.
So Brooks in, he'll run the point for Polk, and McGowan's going to check in as well. He'll take over for Leak. 40-26. RiverSharks lead this one. Still a long way to go. Next free throw, that one rattles out. Missed them both. Pulled down by Evans.
Well, when you're trailing this much, you've got to get those free throws when they come to you.
Brooks with the basketball. He wants to take it to the rack. Throws it up. Oh, he didn't get it to go. And tell you what, Fuqua was saying, listen, he was pushing off on me, not the other way around. But that's how they saw it. And that'll send Brooks to the free throw line.
First foul on Fuqua. And
First team foul. At the line for
didn't like the call. He said the offensive player was leading and pushing him back.
Watch this replay coming up. It's that little dish and dunk there by Dewitt. Wow, what a finish. That was that nice left-handed leave by Brandon Hogg.
Hogg was going in. He was waiting to see what the defense was going to do. He saw them sag away from Dewitt, so he threw up the oop, and Dewitt flushed it home.
Well, it's nice to have those long, lanky arms that Dewitt has, too. Pulled that ball from the rafters and stuffed it in. There's a little spin move along the baseline and a nice take there by Levante Douglas. I'm not sure how healthy Dewitt is. We haven't really seen him play his game tonight. I wonder how that wrist, that thumb is for Dewitt. Obviously a couple of dunks, but
yeah, I think if it were on his shooting hand, he wouldn't be in there, but you notice when he goes up and dunks, he's not doing it with that much authority. It's just enough to go up strong and put it through.
Well, he's got tape on the right hand finger. He's got tape on the left hand wrist.
Second foul on Dewitt. I beg your pardon, on Dillard.
We're going to inbound that along the sideline here. Brandon Hogg is going to trigger it from right in front of his own bench. Gets it into McGowan. McGowan on the little give and go. Steps back. Now he's going to throw it down low. There's DeWitt. Almost as if on cue. Turns. Throws up the shot. It's going to rattle in. Soft touch around the rim by Keith DeWitt. Maybe he heard us and said, you guys are morons. I'm fine.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Won't be the last either, my friend. I'll tell you that much. Fuqua double teamed up top. Just does get rid of it to Morgan. Now a three ball in the corner. That's no good. DeWitt trying to pull down the rebound, but it's knocked out of bounds. And they still haven't signaled whose basketball it is. It looks like it is going to stay with Windy City, though.
Oh, okay.
DeWitt and Douglas both battling for it. And it'll be Jordan Johnson to trigger the inbound for Windy City. Gets it into Dillard. And there's Fuqua again. Little stutter step, tries to go right. Left-handed shooter is going to toss it back out top of the perimeter with Douglas and then get it back top of the key. Picks up the screen. Gets it right back again. Thought about the three ball from the wing. Instead, now he's in some trouble. A little turnaround fadeaway. That shot's not going to go. A bit too strong, but the offside rebound snagged by Douglas.
Yeah, he wanted to put up that three ball, but Gerald Brooks closed awfully fast on him.
In some trouble. That's Dillard along the sideline, and they're going to get a 3-second defensive violation down low. I believe that was, did they get Brooks for it?
Yep, Gerald Brooks.
I looked over there and I saw McGowan standing in there. I was like, no, it couldn't be him.
Does not count as a personal or a technical, but a technical free throw is assessed.
And the 70% free throw shooter at the stripe knocks it down. Here comes Marcus Good, the Chapin, South Carolina native. He'll check in for DeWitt. keeping some size on there. 6'10", 295 pounds. So he's got the height of Dewitt, but he's got a good 50 pounds. Groove basketball left wing, that's Morgan.
With the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary, I heard somebody talking about John Belushi and said he had the body of a wrestler and the feet of a dancer. I think that's kind of maybe what Marcus Good has. Got the body of, maybe not an offensive lineman, but got the feet of a dancer.
You know, I'm a little worried about Good. Every time I look at him, it seems like he's kind of holding the back of his left leg. I don't know if he's fine or maybe he's just stretching something out or not. But every time I look at him, he's kind of holding that hamstring. There's a good take to the rack, and that's Brandon Hall. And the only reason I bring that up is because it's been a while. You know, I know he's not in game shape quite yet. So I mean, you see him right there. You know, he's just kind of holding the back of his leg. It doesn't look like it's anything serious, but maybe something's kind of tightened up on him.
I don't know if it's a uniform issue.
Yeah, maybe it could be a uniform thing too. Oh, to the basket. That was Douglas. Lost the basketball. Back out to space. That's Dillard trying to find his way through traffic. Not going to do anything. Now a pass in traffic, and that's stolen away. Back the other direction. Here comes St. Louis to the hoop, and he puts it off the window and in. That's back-to-back buckets for Hogg. And it's 47-29. St. Louis leading this one with 6:18 left in the second. JJ with the bright shoes dishes it off left side to Fuqua. And not only is this Windy City Groove missing a few players, but it's got some players on the floor that aren't accustomed to playing with each other as well, and that's going to make things even harder. And there's an aggressive take to the rack. Foul going to be called on Evans, the reach-in.
Yeah, you got Levante Douglas in the forehead.
Keep that foul on the floor. They'll inbound it from the bench to our right. Fuqua lobs it in. Dillard had position to the rack. He had his shot altered by Terry Evans' long arm raking across his face, and now McGowan just leaves his feet unwisely, forces a pass. Fuqua intercepts, and Windy City with the basketball trying to go the other direction. Left side with it. Good fake, and now a dish from block to block. Stolen away, though. That's Hogg. He's going to push it a 4-on-1 to the left side, to the rack. No, it was knocked away cleanly, but there to pick up the scrap is Kenny McGowan. Now stolen again. Brooks with it. Pulls up. Left wing. 3-ball. Oh, this place would have gone crazy. The bench to our left would have erupted had that ball gone in, and another take to the rack again. Gerald Brooks with a bucket and a timeout call. Wow, what a flurry of activity for St. Louis, and it's 51-29.
That's exactly the right word, a flurry. A 6-0 run. Beg your pardon, an 8-0 run.
We'll step aside here, 51-29, all St. Louis so far. RiverSharks leading the Groove 51-29. Jason Troop here alongside Craig Fade as we bring you one of 3 games tonight on the MPBA Broadcasting Network. We'll have game 2 for you coming up about half an hour after the conclusion of this one. It'll be the Bloomington Flex and the Gateway Steam. Looking forward to that matchup again. And you'd have to say the front runner for the MVP and Justin Bocott in the building tonight as well.
Although Derek McDonald for the Chicago Force making a strong case for it. He's had 7 consecutive games of 20-plus points and 10-plus rebounds.
7 straight double-doubles will get you mentioned in the
Not only a
MVP race
double-double,
every
but a
time.
2010 double-double.
2010 double-double, sure. Pressure put on again by St. Louis coming right out of the break. Fuqua with the basketball. They're going to double-team him. McGowan just lost his footing, slipped, and there's a ball knocked away. Nice play defensively once again there by Brandon Hogg and the St. Louis team. And I'll tell you what, if there's a team that plays good D, I love watching St. Louis play defense. These RiverSharks, they get after it.
Yeah, there's a couple of very good defensive teams in the league. In fact, Windy City has one of the better defensive points allowed average.
Just don't have the offense to back up the defense, does Windy City.
So far,
and I guess that's key. There's a steal on the inbound. That's McGowan to the rack. He lays it over the front of the rim and in. Five minutes even left in the second. Nice job by the Groove to break some full court pressure. And boy, is St. Louis buzzing. Swarming, if you will. And there's a swat by Good underneath. Pulled back down by Morgan. His shot's not going to go, and it lands in the lap of Terry Evans. Hogg across the timeline. Pulls up at the circle. Now lobs it down low. That's Good underneath. Has his shot swatted by Douglas. Good was just caught underneath the backboard. Had nowhere to go. Johnson with the basketball now right wing. He's caught up in the air. Lost up in the air, but he gave it up to Morgan, who punches it off the window and in. Just a breakdown defensively there for the RiverSharks.
Second
on an
block
odd
for
break.
Levante Douglas. I think he's got it on both big men for the RiverSharks.
McGowan to the rack and high up off the glass and in. He had to get it over the outstretched arms of a couple of players, including Fuqua and Morgan. McGowan, not the largest player either, just 5'11", 170 pounds, but showing some good ball skills there. There's a risky pass that was just saved in bounds, and what a tap right back in by Evans. 2-on-1. McGowan, he gives it up to Gerald Brooks, and he puts it up and in. RiverSharks are just running practice games right now.
Yeah, they've really opened it up.
57-31 with 3.5 left in the second quarter. And there's a pull-up three ball on the way, and there's the stroke. A beauty from Nate Fuqua. Defender left him with a bit of space, and he showed that nice touch from distance.
That was a 16-3 run for the RiverSharks.
Hung up in the air, turn around. That shot's not going to go good there for the offensive rebound. He couldn't get it to go. Ball swatted out of his hands. It fell right back into the lap. Here's McGowan. Wide open three ball left wing. That's not going to go. Skying in to try to flush the rebound, but nothing there. Was one of the RiverSharks, and now Fuqua pushes it ahead. Long two-pointer buried. Jump shot from Jordan Johnson from the left wing. Just a two-pointer. But that slows that run a little bit for the RiverSharks. They'll bring it across the timeline, walk it to the scoring table, and Al Grushkin wants to call timeout. We'll step aside and take a breather as well. Back and forth action we go here in the late second period. 2:48 left, 57-36. RiverSharks lead it on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Back inside the family arena in, let's just say, chilly St. Charles, Missouri, although it's chilly in just about three-quarters of the country right now. If you're tuned in the continental U.S., unless you're in Florida, you're probably freezing. Florida or California. 57-36, though, RiverSharks well on their way to outpace their scoring average of 103 plus a game.
My dad lives in Greenville, South Carolina, and they had some snow there. It was 19 degrees last night. He said they shut the state down.
My little brother is in Charleston, South Carolina, and he's miserable. I told him he's from St. Louis, born and raised.
Oh, my dad's from Chicago.
Oh, see, you don't get used to it after a while. I went to school down in Texas, come back home every Christmas break from college, and you just freeze. Body's not used to it. Let's get back to this game. Nice little jump shot there by Jordan Johnson from Rock Valley College.
I found as the older that I've gotten, the less tolerant I am of the cold.
That is also true. That's Hogg with it on the left wing, trying to spin his way to the rack. Off-balance shot. He was touched on the shot, though. Looked like got a piece of the forearm. I believe that was Dillard on the defense.
That's 3 on Dillard.
And so that'll send Brandon Hogg to the free throw line. He's the leading scorer on this team, 19 a game.
2:01 to play in the second quarter.
Hogg finds the nail in the floor, eyes up the free throw, and buries the first one. I'm assuming they have a nail in the floor. They do in every other basketball floor I've ever been on.
Got to know where it is. On your home floor, you have to know where the dead spots are. Famous story about Boston Garden. The Celtic players used to know where those dead spots were in the Garden floor. And they would set up their defense in key parts of the game to
you want to trap somebody in the dead zone.
to corral to funnel the offense to go to a dead spot and have an awkward dribble and mess up the play.
Hicks defensively there, and nice job defensively too. A guy playing with 3 fouls, and he was just going to stay right in front of his man, who tried to get the hook around him.
Yeah, Levante Douglas kept bumping and bumping and bumping on Hicks. Hicks wouldn't give any quarter. Nice defensive job there by Hicks.
St. Louis, he's set to inbound the basketball. Hogg looking for some help, and he gets it into Polk. Polk, I wouldn't call him Mr. Basketball here in St. Louis, but boy, is he a well-known basketball player here in St. Louis. Played at Vashon, which is a very formidable high school program,
yes,
and
sir.
Decided to stick around in town and go to St. Louis University as well. And it was fun seeing Rennie Knott out here, the Channel 5 sports director, with the GoPro on the chest a couple of weeks ago.
Boy, and Fuqua had that poked away from behind, gave it right to Dewitt.
That's Brooks with it down the left sideline. Little crab hop, and he fires it up off the window, and it wouldn't go in, but he'll head to the free throw line for a couple. Foul on Sam Morgan.
That's his third. So Dillard and Morgan each with 3 for the Groove. Hicks and Leak each with 3 for the RiverSharks.
And again, only 10 dressed today for Windy City. So not a whole lot of depth if you start getting down the bench as far as foul troubles are concerned, as Demetrius Haywood getting set to check back in. Free throw hit by Brooks. That'll be Sam Morgan to the bench. Brooks has not missed a free throw this year, and that continues. 6 for 6 in his 2 games. There's Fuqua across the line being picked up defensively by Brooks. Long pass, dangerous, over the top of the defense, 2 ball. That one splashes in. Had his finger on the line.
Pretty stroke by Kenyon Smith.
Averaging 7.5 a game is Kenyon Smith, 4.5 rebounds a game as well. Nice little crossover up top to the rack. He goes off balance, just threw it up off the window, couldn't get it to go, and fighting for the rebound. That's James Hicks. Finally, St. Louis does come away with it. There's a spin along the baseline, another pass. That one's knocked away nicely by Douglas, and back the other direction goes Windy City. Fuqua to the rack. Oh, he laid it over the front of the iron and in. Nice adjustment midair by Fuqua. 32 seconds left in the half. 61-42. RiverSharks lead it. About 9-second differential between the shot and game clock. Hogg pulls up at the top of the key. Now bounce pass down low to Dewitt, and he just couldn't reach out and pick it up. Reached out with his arms instead of shoveling his feet to his right. Turned over by St. Louis with 19.6 left.
Well, if you can get another bucket here, into the locker room at 17, you will have chiseled into it. It swelled as big as 26 at one point at 57-31.
Nice job by Smith around the basket. Gives it up to the right side, and Douglas off the window and in with 3.7 left. Inbounded quickly, now fired it up the far sideline. That's a hog. Pretty good look. He didn't get it to go off the front of the iron, and that'll take us to halftime. 61-44, and I'll tell you what, I think if you're the Groove, you're happy that it's 61-44, as you said. This game could have gotten out of hand. It still has a long ways to go for the Groove to catch up, but at least they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. 61-44, RiverSharks lead it at the half. We'll be back with more on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
The St. Louis RiverSharks professional basketball. And you can find the RiverSharks on Twitter.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it.
He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all. Boys will be boys.
Take to the basket. You see the replay there. It was the RiverSharks starting to run away with this one, but nice little push at the end of that half there by the Groove to get it under 20. And at the break, it's 61-44. RiverSharks with the lead. And tell you what, Craig, I think you hit it right on the head. Windy City played last night. They're short some players. Did they get bum rushed at the beginning of this contest, but they've got to at least see the light at the end of the tunnel with a couple of baskets there late. They've got to cut down on the turnovers and maybe hope for St. Louis to stop knocking down some of these three-pointers. RiverSharks have knocked down 6 of those in the first half.
Yeah, they're really struggling without leading scorer Darren Johnson in the lineup. Was not able to make the trip today due to some weather issues up in Chicago. But as we said, the RiverSharks led by as many as 26 points in that second quarter following the 16-3 run through the middle part of the period, leading 57-31. The Groove go on a little run of their own toward the end. A 10-4 run to get it back to within 17. got to figure, going into the fourth quarter, they hope to be at about 10, and anything can happen from there on. Pro basketball, as we've talked about all season long, a game of runs. It's a matter of how you respond. Can you respond with a run of your own? And if not, it's going to be a long night for you.
Yeah, RiverSharks 6 of 11 from downtown as a team. Actually, both teams have made 18 shots from the floor. 18 of 31 field goal attempts for the RiverSharks, 18 of 34 for the Windy City Groove. But as I said, 6 of those three-pointers for the RiverSharks as well. Again, they lead it 61-44. And you look at the rebounding category, no surprise here as well. RiverSharks on the glass, 19-13. Handling things down low with the combination of Dewitt and Marcus Good. I mean, heck, Evans and Leak, really everybody has been getting involved. I've been impressed with the defense from time to time, and it looks like, at least in that first half, when the RiverSharks wanted to turn up that defensive pressure, they did, and were able to force the turnovers, force the issue, and that's kind of all those runs that the RiverSharks went on to get back up by 20, get back up by 22, all started on the defensive end.
Let's take a look at some of the individual numbers for the Windy City Groove. Levante Douglas and Sam Morgan each with 8 points. Nate Fuqua also with 8. Kenyon Smith with 7. Demetrius Haywood 5. Jordan Johnson and Christopher Dillard with 4. For the St. Louis RiverSharks, Terry Leak with 17 first half points. Brandon Hogg with 14. Gerald Brooks 12. Keith DeWitt 11. Kenny McGowan 6. Terry Evans with 1. The leading rebounder for the Groove, Demetrius Haywood with 4. Terry Evans and Keith DeWitt each with 6 first half rebounds.
This has been a fun game to watch Evans. He's been shooting it well from distance here tonight.
Not really any other outstanding statistics to note. Christopher Dillard with 4 first half turnovers for the Groove.
And while you're on turnovers, here's the number that I look at. Team stats here. 13 assists for the RiverSharks in that first half. Only 5 assists for the Groove. 10 turnovers for St. Louis, 14 turnovers by Windy City in that. So I love seeing those 13 assists. I think we talked about it a lot in that first half, how well how well the Sharks have been sharing the basketball.
They'd have even more if you got that second assist like in hockey. Yeah, sure. But they had some trips off the floor where, the ball never touched the court. And so great ball movement all night long, not only on the break, but patience on the offensive end as well. They've been swinging it weak side, getting it down low, and Windy City just has to figure out a way, coming in shorthanded and playing without their leading scorer, how they're going to be able to claw their way back into this one. And again, I would look to the veteran Nate Fuqua to try to make something happen.
It's been so hard, though, for Fuqua to free himself up for a shot. He's only taken one uncontested shot all contest that I can remember, and it was a 3-ball that he buried from the left wing. That's the only uncontested shot that he's really had all game long. You can really see Al Grushkin coaching up his guards on those hedges up top, on any of the pick and rolls to work and to stay to double team, come off that ball and double team up top as well. There's only a couple of players that really scare you from an offensive standpoint on the floor for Windy City, as you said, without their leading scorer. Nate Fuqua, obviously the number one guy. Chris Dillard is another one that really kind of scares you from a scoring standpoint. But that's it. Those are the only two that have any sort of offensive power, if you will, on the floor for Windy City. And I really think this RiverSharks defense has done a fantastic job taking Fuqua out of the contest. A lot of the buckets that Windy City has hit, if you remember, have been on some crazy bounces around the rim where Haywood followed it up with a dunk, or followed it up with an easy layup, where the defense thought the ball was going to careen to one side and it came back to the other side, and it was an easy putback for Windy City as well. So some of their, not to take anything away from Windy City, but a lot of their buckets have come from those rolls, and have to get lucky sometimes to get.
They've had some open jump shots too go down. Kenyon Smith,
Sure.
Sam Morgan to Jordan Johnson. Those guys are going to have to be the ones that step up, with the defense keying on somebody like Nate Fuqua and keying on Levante Douglas as well. They're going to have some guys step up and hit some shots from the outside, loosen up that defense, allow Fuqua to drive, maybe get some and ones. And then maybe some of those outside shooters, if they can knock down some three back into this one.
Don't forget, folks, this is just game one of a triple header on the MPBA Broadcasting Network here tonight. The other two have yet to tip off. Obviously, the second of our doubleheader here in St. Charles will come about half an hour after the conclusion of this one. That'll be the Bloomington Flex, who sit atop the standings in the MPBA right now with a 7-1 record. They are on the road against the Gateway Steam, a team that just really hasn't found themselves yet, but they are they're pushing every single week. It looks like they get better and better. They had just a close loss, a near miss, if you will. I always hated that terminology, near miss. That's a hit, right? But a close loss their last time out. They are certainly a team that can win on their home floor here, as we've talked with Darrell about in the past. And then, of course, the other game later on tonight, the Force and the Swarm. They're going to tip off at 7:30 up in the Chicago area as well. Is that in the Chicago area? Yeah.
No,
that
one's
Swarm.
that's in Champaign.
That's in Champaign tonight, 7:30 tip-off on that one as well. And you can watch, the cool thing about the MPBA Broadcasting Network, you can watch all three of them at the same time. So you don't have to turn us off.
Right.
You can turn on the other two games as well.
Well, it'll be hard because this first one will be over.
This one would be over. Yeah, it'll probably be over by then, yeah.
Well, it'll have to be over
by the 7:30
by
game.
the time the second game starts here.
That's true. So you can only
so
watch
we can't
two
watch
at
all
once.
three at the same time.
Tape delay.
You've been watching a little too much Doctor Who, my friend.
Hey, the technology these days, it's amazing how they get going. Let's before we both completely lose it, let's step aside for just a moment, shall we? It is a 61-44. That is your score at the half. We've got another 24 minutes in this contest coming up. RiverSharks with the lead over the Windy City Groove. We'll be back with second half action after this on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
It's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Hey, we're back inside the Family Arena here in St. Charles, Missouri. Jason Troop alongside Craig Fada. 61-44. So St. Louis RiverSharks with the lead over the Windy City Groove. As we get set to start the second half of action here tonight. Starting five will be back out on the floor for both teams to get underway here. That's Smith, Fuqua, Al-Malay, Dillard, and Douglas for the Groove. Polk, Hogg, Evans, Leak, and Keith Dewitt for the St. Louis RiverSharks. St. Louis started out this contest putting some full court pressure on defensively, turning over the Groove and racing out to a 13-2 lead. Obviously, they've stretched that to its current mark now, but we'll see what type of style they want to play coming out of the locker room with the head coach Al Grushkin is the Groove in the black and white, moving right to left. That's a hesitation dribble by Kenyon Smith, trying to get to the rack. He'll back it up again, trying to run a play right off the bat. Knifing his way through was Haywood. Instead, he drops the pass off. Little jump shot. That's not going to go off the rim, and Polk snags the rebound, and he'll walk it up court himself.
Yeah, that came off the rim kind of strange.
Polk with the good hands, though, was able to corral it. Almost dragged his foot. They're wanting a travel call on the right side. Not going to get it. He held it. Down low, a battle. That's Terry Leak looking for the lob. He's got Fuqua on him defensively. He's going to try to spin baseline. Instead, goes back to his left. Little fadeaway. That's not going to go, and the rebound lands in the lap of Fuqua.
Nice defense by Fuqua. He knew exactly what Leak was going to do.
Pulled up just inside the three-point line did Fuqua. Couldn't hit the shot, but the offensive rebound found its way to Sam Morgan, who kissed it off the window and in.
That's a tough shot by Sam Morgan, 6'4", going up and around Keith DeWitt at 6'10".
Tough
angle able to find the angle off the glass. A little English on it even, I think.
Polk with the basketball between the circles, dishes it left side. That's Hogg. Hesitation, thought he traveled. That ball just smacked off a couple people's faces. And the Groove with it. Fuqua's going to push it 2-on-1. He's got a man to his left. Gives it up to his left, and there's a little hesitation.
Ooh.
And that shot, is that a whistle foul called on Terry Evans? I don't think he touched him.
Oh, he touched him. No question he touched him, but that was a they did not execute that break very well. Nate Fuqua gave it up very well underneath to Demetrius Haywood. He let the defender get too close, and he got bailed out on the foul call there because he put up a really awkward shot.
Knocks down the first of a pair of free throws. And we've seen St. Louis impose their size throughout the course of the night. I mean, you can see the Haywood at the free throw line, 6'4", $175. That's soaking wet.
But they're also so athletic when you talk about Leak and Evans and Hicks and Hogg that I don't know that you can try to run their size out of the gym either, because they can just adjust. And
I think we saw that in that Gateway game a couple of weeks ago as well. And I was talking with Al Grushkin about that, and he said, listen, we'll run it too. We can run it. We can slow it down. We can run it and play a lot of styles. I really am looking forward to the RiverSharks and the Flex. Every time they match up, I think these are I don't know. Would you say you've seen more of them than I have? I think would you say they'd be the top two teams right now, the Flex and the
I think the Flex and the
Swarm. Say the Swarm for
Flex
sure.
and the Swarm, but the Flex have handled the Swarm on two separate occasions, and the Flex lost the one game to the RiverSharks. So I think that was more of a function of Bloomington coming into the season with only about 4 practices and a new coach.
Nice take there by Hogg. He's going to leave it off to his right side, trying to duck underneath the rim, and he lost it. That was Terry Evans. Back the other direction come the Groove. Fuqua with the basketball. Almost had it poked away from behind. Finds a man wide open right side three ball. That one's front rim.
Well, they've got to hit those, no question. When you get a wide open three.
Gerald Brooks weaving his way up the floor. Dishes it off now, spin move inside. It's left off to Evans. To the rack he goes. Can't hit the shot. DeWitt just playing with a basketball underneath. Almost passing it back and forth to himself, and finally it's knocked out of bounds. Looked like it was off of Kenyon Smith. It'll stay with St. Louis.
Well, the Groove have cut this lead to 13. They've cut it in half from its high of 26 midway through the second quarter.
DeWitt to trigger the inbound. Now up top it goes to Hogg, and now down low to DeWitt. He's going to use his size. I don't think he knew where the rim was when he spun to the rack and missed his shot. It was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Windy City, though.
Yeah, DeWitt made a couple of moves, spun. Maybe he wasn't quite oriented to where that rim was. He went hard off the glass, off the square to try to bank it in.
double check on the shot clock, but that last one did hit the rim, so it's correctly set at 24 seconds. As Hogg gets set to bring the inbound in, it's into Evans, who tried to force it down to Leak. He's got it, eyeing a double team. Now back to Evans. They play a little two-man game. Lob back down low again to Leak. Trying to back his way along the baseline. Now he's his stop in the paint, and he's going to get whistled for a travel. You heard the 1-2 on the floor. A little hop step. Kenyon Smith the other direction, and now he got a whistle.
Yep, there was no question that was just had a chance to look on our monitor. That no question that was a travel. Took one step and then shuffled the feet as he came down. Maybe if he would have come down with the feet at the same time, that would have been a jump stop, but that was clearly not a jump stop.
Waiting to inbound it, and they do. Here's Gerald Brooks. Guy that played for the Golden Eagles in Southern Miss. Been a nice addition to this team. Wasn't on the roster at the beginning of the season. Right wing with it, that's Evans trying to free up some space. He's going to take it to the basket, now back off, put up the shot, no good. And tell you what, Fuqua trying to take over this contest for the Groove. He's had the basketball in his hands up and down the floor, taking most of the shots here in the early stages. There's a shot, no good. Weak side rebound, snagged by Leak. He'll hold it high and find Hogg, who weaves past a couple defenders, pulls up at the top of the key. Saw DeWitt down low. Now the pass down to DeWitt on the block. He's going to spin. Went to the right hand to try to put it up off the glass and had it poked away. Now he's tied up underneath with guess who? That's Fuqua. And the jump ball is going to stay with St. Louis.
Boy, and Windy City with another chance to hit an open jump shot, not able to execute again.
I think DeWitt uses his left hand and shoots that last shot with his left hand if it's not all wrapped up and injured. I really do. It was a little easy, little flick of the wrist with the left, and he had to kind of re-angle his arm, if you will, if that makes any sense, to try to put it up with the right. I bet he wins this jump. Nope. Stolen away by the Groove. One jump. Groove stolen away.
That's why they called him the Flying Fuqua when he was with the Flex.
Oh, speaking of flying. What a flush by Dillard on the alley-oop, and the Groove with an 11.
And it's down to 11, yeah. I bet you Al Grushkin's going to take time out here, and he does.
Timeout called with the 61-50 score. 8:03 left in the third, and the Windy City Groove are getting right back into it.
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it.
He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
Tell you what, Nate Fuqua, he's been all over the place, defensively, offensively. He's really setting the tone here in the early stages of the second half for the Windy City Groove, who have closed within 11 after being behind as much as 26. Dangerous inbound pass, stolen away. They got it away and back the other direction. That's Haywood looking to throw it down. He puts it off the window and in. Got bumped, didn't get the call. But he hits the bucket, and we're down to single digits. Brooks will walk it up across the timeline. Between the rings, he'll give it up right side to Leak. Leak down low to DeWitt. DeWitt turns to the baseline. He just lobs it up over the front of the rim and in. Nice take there by DeWitt. Let's see if the RiverSharks go back inside here. Try to reestablish their dominance inside. Back up 11.
That was St. Louis's first points of the second half at the 7:34 mark.
Talking about Fuqua coming out of that break. He's been leading it defensively. Step back, three ball on the way. Front of the iron, no good. Skying for the rebound is Evans. And he rips it back down, hands it off to Brooks. Brooks in his neon shoes. Light up the floor is on his way up the court. Now DeWitt again trying to establish his post presence down low. There's a shot. No, sir, it didn't go, but the foul is going to be called, and a nice job by DeWitt kind of closing off a lane, allowing Leak to get to the rack.
Second foul on Nate Fuqua.
First team foul.
Beg your pardon, they called it on Kenyon Smith. I thought they called it on.
Yeah, I thought it was Fuqua as well, and he was the one talking to the near side referee as well. Shot up and no good. on the free throw. Check again, that's Marvin Gwynn.
And for the RiverSharks, number 30.
Kenny McGowan's going to step into the contest as well for Brandon Hogg. Free throw on the way, and that one bounces out. No good. Douglas with a rebound for the Groove.
So the foul was on Fuqua.
Looked like Fuqua. Usually you're not talking to the referees if the foul's not on you. Fuqua in trouble, backs it out. Now left wing, a whistle's going to blow away from the play. And a defensive 3-second call.
Second personal, first team foul.
And Fuqua headed the free throw line to shoot the technical.
At the line, number 31, Nate Fuqua.
And a good shooter again. Fuqua, 69% free throw shooter coming into action today. Quick meeting of the minds right in front of us. 6:45 left in the third, and the Groove making this a contest. Fuqua's set to inbound. Fires it in. A little bit of trouble there. Dangerous pass. Dillard has it, though. Being picked up by Evans. Between the circles. He's going to hand it off to Fuqua. Fuqua picks up his dribble, spins left side. Now a shot from Smith. He was wide open, and he buried the long deuce.
That's those shots they have to start knocking down.
Inbounded to McGowan. He splits a couple defenders, and yes, absolutely. He got called for the shove. He pushed Kenyon Smith, or pushed, I believe it was Marvin Gwynn off with the forearm. McGowan wanted to call on a reach-in, but he got whistled for the push-off, and that'll be a turnover, and back the other way it goes.
Yeah, first foul on McGowan.
Quickly inbounded to Douglas in the far corner. He's just going to eye up the two, and he buries it. And their Groove are feeling confident now.
It's down to 6.
63-57. It's a 13-2 run here in the third quarter, and Gerald Brooks calms everyone down on the St. Louis side with a triple from the right wing. There's a whistle blown and a foul called away from the basketball underneath.
A mandatory timeout on the floor.
And a foul is going to be called as well on Marvin Gwynn Jr. We're going to step aside as they take timeout on the floor. 5:57 left in the third, 66-57 RiverSharks lead, but here come the Groove. .557 left in the third, and it's the Windy City Groove on a nice little run. They trail it now by 9. It was down to 6 until Jared Brooks hit that big three-pointer. Last offensive possession for the Sharks to kind of stop the bleeding a bit.
During that timeout, Al Grushkin told his team, he said, hey, they're starting to talk. They think they can come all the way back in this one. You guys better get this ship righted.
McGowan with the basketball along the far sideline, gives it up to Leak. Looking for a screen from Dewitt. Back out on the perimeter again, Brooks. Double team. He's going to go baseline. Looking for the open man, and it's stolen away. Gwynn Jr. with the steal.
Yeah, he did not have numbers.
A little right-handed floater. Wow. Knocks it in.
1-on-3, and Gwynn says, I don't care.
You got Gwynn listed at 6'2". No chance. No chance.
Well, he's 5'8".
Oh, I've got him at 6'2". Then that's my fault.
Givens is 6'2".
Oh, Gwynn, 5'8". Good call. Thank you. I can't read my own handwriting. Knocked out of bounds, and here comes Dwayne Polk into the contest for some defense. Listen, we're going to see some St. Louis defense right now. after, obviously, they get on the defensive end. They're going to have to step up the D. That's what stretched this out to a 27-point lead at one point in time. Polk trying to find someone to lob it into and finally gets it up top to Leak. He'll bounce it back to Polk, and they'll set up the offense.
15-5.
Between the rings, Polk. Look, they've got them all spread out to the rack. He goes, lost it. Ball still being batted around, and it's turned back over again by the RiverSharks.
A 15-5 run to start off this third quarter.
5 minutes left. In the frame, and it's Kenyon Smith with the basketball. Picks up his dribble in the center circle. Now gets it right back. Between the rings, picked up defensively by Polk. Polk will close the gap a bit. Looking for a screen. Little give and go play. Down the lane. That's Douglas. Throws the shot. No good. And they see a foul. Offensive. It's a foul on Douglas. The push off underneath. And the RiverSharks get it back. There's that good defense again.
It's going to be the second foul on Levante Douglas. And had he not committed that foul, this would be really interesting right about now. But I don't think we're done seeing the end of the groove run here.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I think they've found a new level of confidence out there last 10 minutes or so in this one. Polk with a basketball.
Maybe they were just rope-a-doping them in the first half, trying to get their legs under them after the game last night, doing a little Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, letting the puncher punch themselves out.
There's another aggressive take there by Evans, dipping his shoulder to push his man away, but he couldn't hit the shot. Now Fuqua with the basketball, fires it off right side, pass right down low, off the glass. That's not going to go, and Dewitt just punches the basketball out along the baseline. It'll stay with the groove. Came off a bit awkward for him, I guess.
Fresh 24 as well, so they should be able to get a pretty good offensive look here.
Smith to trigger the inbound, back into Fuqua. That's Evans on him. Now Fuqua trying to go baseline. That shot's not going to go. A rebound controlled, though, by Douglas. And they'll reset the shot clock again. Now Marvin Gwynn. Got Polk on him. He'll dribble to the left, pull up. That's a three ball on the way.
No, that was
just
a two.
Stepped inside.
He was
it
clearly
a two.
inside the two.
But a heck of a shot nonetheless. No rotation
5.
on that shot either.
That was Justin Bocott-esque.
Knuckler. Polk with the basketball. Wanted to get it down low to DeWitt. Wanted to play some sort of two-man game.
Gwynn
Douglas playing defense
all over.
Polk trying to get around him. And now they're going to get a push-off on Polk. That was a touch foul, but they got him.
Well, he threw the forearm into Marvin Gwynn's chest to try to separate, and that's a foul every time. Marvin Gwynn keeping the feet moving, staying in front of the offensive player Polk. Drew the foul.
Gwynn may be too small for DeWitt to find to set a screen on.
Mouse in the house.
You know, like those small running backs you see in the NFL. Yep. You know, they kind of hide behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Sure. Givens with the basketball. Now between the rings, Smith with it. He'll back it off away from Gerald Brooks. Takes it to the rack himself. Right-handed runner had too much up on it. Can't put it back in. It was tipped in.
Nate
Finally
Fuqua.
tipped in. Fuqua got the tip in. I think it actually probably hit DeWitt last, but Fuqua was the one that moved it towards the rim.
So it's down to 3 now with 3 minutes to play in this third quarter.
There's a pass to DeWitt. He's going to take it to the hoop, and he puts it up and in. More of that. That's what the RiverSharks need. Quickly the other direction. That's Fuqua with it. Fired up top to Douglas. He'll try to go in. There's a steal by DeWitt. Watch out, man on his right side. He's got a trailer as well. That's Leak DeWitt. He was fouled. That was Fuqua. I think got a piece of the forearm. Yep.
Nate was not going to let the big man go up and dunk. And there you see DeWitt taking that wrap off the hand.
He'll toss it out of bounds on the far side. When they get him, if they're going to re-wrap that when he gets off the floor. Inbound and far side, that's Evans to trigger it. He'll fire it into DeWitt. Right on his back, that's Douglas. DeWitt faces the basket, trying to go baseline. Now spins back to the middle, little fadeaway jumper.
Great defense by Levante Douglas on the bigger man.
The other direction, that's Douglas with the basketball, and he'll flush it on the other end as well. Oh, Douglas on both ends of the floor getting it done for the Groove, and it's a 68-65 score. Hogg with the basketball. He'll dribble it left side now to DeWitt. The high post. He'll turn to face the basket, trying to go baseline again. There's that defense. Puts up the shot. He got it and a one. You're right, Douglas playing some great D on Dewitt, but Dewitt got the bucket that time, and he'll head to the free throw line to shoot one after this timeout. 2:10 left in the third, 70-65. RiverSharks hanging on.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Windy City getting back into it, but there's been a couple of big plays by the St. Louis RiverSharks, including that Dewitt play right there. He got the bucket to go. He'll head to the free throw line to shoot one. It was also a triple from Gerald Brooks, but every time you see Windy City getting within a bucket, it's been a big one from the RiverSharks to stretch that lead again. It's up to 5 now, 70-65. RiverSharks with the lead and 2:10 left in the third quarter. Dewitt at the free throw line trying to complete the old school three-point play.
3 different occasions the Groove have gotten to within 3.
Back up to 6 now after he hits the free throw and across the timeline. That's Jordan Johnson with a basketball. He'll yo-yo it between the rings and now fire it left side to Givens.
Either way, unless now there's going to be a foul on Dewitt after he pokes Levante Douglas in the eye. That's going to be the second on Dewitt. But remember, we talked about early in this third quarter that if the Groove could get to within 10 heading into the fourth quarter, they'd be in decent enough shape. They'd be within striking distance. Well, they're at just 6 now. They had it down to 3.
Oh, nice little dish. There's Givens to the rack. He couldn't get it.
Wow!
Oh, Dillard with the flush. I don't know how he made the adjustment in the air to get to that basketball.
Non-unsporting technical foul. Black 40. Pulls that slice backboard.
So a technical foul issued on Dillard. He smacked the backboard after the dunk.
Dunk, though, huh? I mean, that ball came off a little awkwardly off the rim, and he had to go back behind himself. Let's check out the replay. As RiverSharks shoot the free throw, and here it is.
It was a beautiful pass from Dillard.
And just smacked the rebound, but he had to go back to his left, as you saw there, to grab that ball and then to flush it. A little spank of the glass, and they'll get you for that every time.
Yeah, he gave it to Givens. Givens missed the shot, but wow, impressive follow-up by Dillard.
So that Brandon Hogg brings up the basketball, now downloaded to Witt, and he tries to back it in, and finally a foul call that time on Douglas. Got a bit too aggressive. And that's 4 on Levante Douglas, and that's some trouble for Windy City, because I'm not sure they've got anybody else on their roster that can defend DeWitt as well as Douglas has tonight.
Yeah, he's played some very good defense on DeWitt.
Looks like Al Malay getting set to check back in. He started the contest tonight, but
we haven't seen very much of him.
I don't think we've seen him at all here in the third. Here's the inbound from Evans. Gives it up to Hogg. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Minute 36 on the game clock here in the third quarter. There's a 3-ball left wing. That's not going to go. Weak side rebound snagged by Dillard.
Not sure why Gerald Brooks has his jersey up in his mouth, but he shot that last 3-pointer with his jersey hanging out of his mouth. don't think I've ever seen that before.
I mean, Jordan had the tongue. Why can't Brooks have the jersey in the mouth,
guess,
right?
And maybe on his way up court saying, God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again.
There's a take to the rack. That's Brooks. Lost it, picked it back up. That shot no good. Turn around. Dewitt, he can't get it. Pulled down by Almalek. And here come the Groove. Down 5. They get close to within one. Or close within one basket here. A little bank shot off the window and in.
Pretty kiss by Christopher Dillard.
Dillard, one of the two names we talked about, Fuqua and Dillard. They've got to find a way to get offense from both of them, and they are. Windy City just switched into a zone. They're running a zone. Big rebound up top to DeWitt. At least it looked like it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's a 3-2 zone right now.
Not sure who, yeah.
Hogg just picked up the foul out on the perimeter there, a blocking foul on Johnson.
I thought they were going to get them on the defensive 3. I didn't see Dana Givens anywhere near one of the RiverSharks players. I mean, he was guarding nobody.
Well, to the free throw line goes Brandon Hogg. Check out the replay. We're going to see the shirt. We're going to see the jersey chewer here. It's a high fiber meal. I mean, there you are.
It's just weird.
You got it. Hey, when you're hungry, you're hungry. Nice tip back by DeWitt to himself, but he couldn't control it. Taken away by Almalek. Left wing, that's Johnson with it to the rack. He's going to fire the pass far side. Man, they had the right idea, huh?
They could have tied that up with an open three-pointer from Givens. He was all alone in the corner.
Just couldn't corral the pass. 28.1 left in the third quarter. 72-69, RiverSharks hanging on to a lead they've had throughout. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Hogg kicks it right side. 3 ball on the way from Brooks. Buried it! Oh, what a big 3 at the end of the quarter. See if they can play D with 6 seconds left. Dillard up the floor. He's going to pull up. Can't find anybody. Not a Givens. Fadeaway baseline jumper rattles out. No good. DeWitt just smacks it aside. Looked like Dillard might have been coming in to pick up the offensive rebound, and DeWitt knocked it aside, so no one got to it. What a big 3 ball by Gerald Brooks. That's twice in the third quarter that he nailed a big 3 as the Groove were starting to close. 75-69. The RiverSharks leading Windy City back with the fourth quarter after this.
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it. He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
RiverSharks once led this one by 27. They now are up just 6 with 12 minutes left in regulation. 75-69. St. Louis leading Windy City. Jason Troop alongside Greg Fada inside a warm family arena here in downtown St. Charles, Missouri.
It is the RiverSharks ball.
And I wish I could look back at that third quarter and kind of figure out how the Groove did it. I mean, St. Louis didn't really get away from their game, I think.
Well, they finally hit some shots.
Yeah.
That helped. But, no, you're right. I don't think the RiverSharks played awful. What a shot from distance. Oh, my goodness. Brooks hits another triple. And he ends up on his backside with it. He's hit some big ones tonight, folks. A fun man to watch play. There's a step-back three ball on the way from Almalay. That's no good, and a long rebound, saved inbounds, but right into the hands of Gerald Brooks again. He's going to go coast to coast. Lays it up, left hand. That's not going to go. Offside rebound by Leak. He can't get it to go. Bodies flying everywhere, and everyone seems to be all right. Leak.
Foul's going to be on Almalay.
Almalay. And Leak to the free throw line.
At the line for the RiverSharks.
Tell you what, Brooks might just take it to the rack himself. He tried to. A little off-balance left-handed finger roll that never got above the rim. Here's the Memphis, Tennessee native, and he knocks the first one down. This young man played a couple of seasons at Marion Military Institute before he transferred over to Delta State. Next one on the way, and that one good as well. Back to an 11-point lead, just like that. Jordan Johnson with a basketball at the top of the key. Will kick it right side to Givens. Now into the corner it goes to Almalay. Around the screen, looking for the give and go, and it's knocked away. Good defense there by Dewitt to get the steal. He'll hand it off to Gerald Brooks, and he'll run the point here. Left side Hogg, taking it to the rack. There's that jump stop in the lane. Boy, they got a piece of it. Yes, give him a block. That was Dillard on the swat. And back the other direction go the Groove. Left-handed layup, not going to go. Rebound still being batted around, and finally, no, it's Windy City coming away from the scrum. A little bank shot, no good either from Johnson.
Boy, if you think of the open jump shots that Windy City missed in the first half.
There's a pocket pick by Givens. 2-on-2. Little hesitation there. And
Johnson
good
defense.
Saw the tree in front of him, so he backed it out. Little right-handed finger roll off the window and in from Dillard.
If you think about all the open jump shots Windy City missed early in the game and some of the open ones they missed here in the second half, boy, you're talking about maybe a tie game, even the group taking the lead.
The pass to the high post, take by Leak to the rack, and he's not going to get there. Was bumped on his way to the hoop, though, and the foul going to be on Nate Fuqua.
Yep, that's his fourth, and Nate doesn't like it, but he clearly got the arm on the drive.
Exactly 10 minutes left.
Saw that from all the way back here.
And Leak right now a chance to stretch this lead back to double digits. He does. It's 81-71, and here comes Demetrius Haywood. Another high flyer for Windy City. Both of them good from the 75% free throw shooter. Inadvertent horn they're going to play on. Up top with it, that's Haywood. Gives it up left side. Back down the lane. There goes Haywood. Hey, and he buried it in. Boy, I tell you what, just got it through, and looks like Leak upset that he wasn't able to get a piece of that basketball. He was right there. It was either him or DeWitt.
Great ball movement by Windy City. A lot of patience to find the cutting man.
DeWitt, little off-balance jumper, uses the window and sends it home. Not really his cup of tea there. He was kind of off-balance, but got it to fall nonetheless. There's a take by Gibbons. Kicked it back up top. That's going to be a short shot. That might have hit the – no, it didn't hit the baseline. Now kicked out again in the corner. 2-ball. Not going to go. Still being batted around. Another block that by DeWitt. He got a piece of that one too. Ripped away. Down low, though, by Fuqua. He gets it back. Left-handed runner. Good. Boy, that was a disgusting offensive play, but it worked, didn't it? Too many second chance opportunities.
Boy, Nate Fuqua just doing the dirty work down below. And now Fuqua guarding DeWitt.
Yeah, that's a matchup you got to take advantage. That's a matchup you got to notice. There's a take to the rack. That's not going to go. DeWitt just standing flat-footed, almost gets a rebound. Still couldn't put it back up. And now Haywood racing down the near side of the floor. 2-on-1. He gives it up off the window and in from Jordan Johnson. And timeout taken. Al Grushkin doesn't like the scene of that one. They had stretched it back out to 11.
Yep.
It's down to 7 now, 84-77, 8:34 left in the fourth. Back with more after this on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
There's that mismatch with Dewitt there. Couldn't take advantage of it. Brooks trying to get to the rack.
Nate Fuqua at 6'2", Keith Dewitt at 6'10". I don't know if they just didn't see it or the defense was too good up high to deny the pass, but...
Or maybe Brooks liked his matchup as well.
Could be.
So he didn't do a bad job getting to the hoop, just couldn't finish with the left. 84-77, the RiverSharks leading the Groove. St. Louis hasn't lost on this floor, ever. This is the inaugural season of the MPBA and the inaugural season for the St. Louis RiverSharks. Dangerous pass across the top of the defense, almost stolen away.
Came away with that
Down
one.
to the corner.
Oh, he stepped on the sideline.
Yep, good eyes from the far side of the floor, and it's turned over. Get within a couple of buckets. A 3-possession contest right now. How much energy does the Groove have? They've spent a lot of it just to get within shooting range, within shouting distance.
Well, they were a little bit closer than shouting distance. They were
a 3-ball away from tying it, I believe.
They were pretty much in St. Louis's kitchen.
With the basketball up top, that's Johnson in rhythm, throws up the shot, no good. Dewitt just lazy with the rebound, didn't tuck it in, and now it's kicked around outside Windy City. Three, that's not going to go.
Windy City can hit an open jump shot.
How many times have we said that tonight, huh? Kicked into the corner. Step back, 3-ball. Good! Oh, how many times have we said Gerald Brooks has hit a big 3 tonight? That's 4 times at least. And timeout is taken by Lachelle Sanders to our right for the Groove. Oh, what a bucket from Brooks.
That was huge.
We'll step aside as well. 87-77, Sharks up 10.
See the Windy City Groove with a couple of open looks from 3-point range. Can't get either one of them to go down. We've been talking about it all night long that if the Groove had been hitting open shots, not only would they have gotten it within 3, they may have pulled ahead, but they have just not been able to execute from long range. And when you take into account some of the open jump shots from in close they missed in the first quarter, they've got to be kicking themselves a little bit here.
There's a little turnaround shot. That's not going to go off the heel of the iron. Rebound grabbed by McGowan. And just to finish that thought as well, listen, Windy City played last night, and if you talk to any shooter or any coach, he'll tell you you got to get your legs under you when you're shooting, and that's certainly could be a possible reason why we're having a problem here for Windy City. Just don't have the legs under their shots here tonight. There's a misread. Johnson zigged, and Groove thought he was going to zag, and they threw it out of bounds along the near sideline. Fuqua is going to check back in again right before they River City inbounds it.
Yeah,
or RiverSharks inbound it, pardon me.
Not quite sure what Dillard was looking at.
I think he saw Johnson and thought Johnson was coming to the sideline, and Johnson was heading towards the top of the key. Top of the key, that's Dewitt with it. Turnaround, that's not going to go on the rebound. Chasing it down, and they tip it right back in the hands of Fuqua. 12-point lead for the RiverSharks. That's Kenyon Smith with the basketball, and their whistle's going to blow. Terry Leak has the surprise look on his face, but yeah, he's whistled for the foul. He can't believe it. First foul here in the fourth. And Yeah, Leak just got a little bit of a bump, I guess, on the hip of Kenyon Smith.
Yeah, a little hesitation move. Smith went to go around him. Leak bumped him. Pretty clean call.
Dillard is going to square up and fire the long two. That's not going to go. Rebound by Dewitt. He's going to fire it ahead. That's Jared Brooks with it to the rack. Left-handed, and he spun it off the glass and in. Boys, he had a good game. That's back-to-back games. I mean, Brooks had 20 his first game. He's near that, if not already there now, and there's that beautiful shot from Nate Fuqua. Good rotation, nice smooth shot. Hogg with the basketball now. Haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. A little give and go with DeWitt, trying to lob it down low to DeWitt. Bad idea there, knocked away by the Groove, and back the other direction they go. Kenyon Smith kicks it right side. Fuqua, step back, 3-ball from the corner. Oh, man, that would have been a big one if he hit it. Rebound, though, stayed alive.
Oh,
and
not
there's
sure
a
about that. I don't know why.
No good.
I'm not sure why Morgan went after it there.
No.
They had a fresh 24, and he was taking an awkward shot in traffic.
And Hogg makes him pay, going coast to coast, kissing it off the window. 93-79, RiverSharks starting to take control of it here in the waning minutes. Dillard. Now right back to Dillard. Underneath, off the glass, and in. Good ball movement there. 1, 2, 3, a little tic-tac-toe passing for the Groove. Gerald Brooks across the timeline. Little crossover to the rack. Left hand off the glass, didn't go. Weak side rebound. Pulled down, and here come the Groove the other direction. Little pull up at the free throw line. Look at that, up and under. Not going to go. DeWitt tried to control it. There's a ball still being batted around. How that didn't end up on the baseline, I don't know. Hogg with the basketball the other direction. He's going to weave past a couple. He took like 6 steps for that shot. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the RiverSharks, though. I still don't know how that did. Yeah, you can see the bench for the Groove saying, how did that not go out of bounds along the baseline?
Just had a chance to see it on our monitor, and it sure didn't.
I mean, we don't have an angle here, so I'm not going to argue with these guys. Hogg with the basketball. Right in front of the Windy City bench, looking for a screen from DeWitt. He was double-teamed, and now it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Smith. It'll stay with the RiverSharks.
5 minutes to play, 4:57 now. Time starting to run short for Windy City. They can't let it get too much farther away. They got it to within 3 at 3 different points in that third quarter. Had it down to 7 here in the fourth.
McGowan passes up the 3, heads towards the rack. Oh, look at that follow-up slam by Terry Evans on the miss from McGowan. Nobody there to cut him off. 95-81. 3-ball, Fuqua, left open. He buries it. You can't leave him open like that. Smooth shot from the southpaw.
Nate can shoot the 3-ball if he gets hot.
Fuqua shooting 43% from three-point land this year. Little hesitation dribble there by DeWitt, and he's going to get whistled for steps. And here comes Levante Douglas. Back into the contest for the Groove. RiverSharks almost caught by surprise. Fuqua with it on the left wing.
Figure we
McGowan
may
on
see
him.
Levante Douglas for the remainder of this one. He's got 4 fouls, but there's only 4 minutes left.
Step back 3-ball on the way.
Bang! Nate Fuqua!
Oh, he's feeling it, folks. Had a rather quiet first half, but he's found some open shots here in the second. Under 4 minutes left in this one.
That wasn't a wide open 3 either. He did a little step move.
Speaking of step moves, there's a step back answer there by Gerald Brooks. Maybe those two should just have a shooting contest to decide the winner of this one. It's been both of their games all night tonight. There's a take to the rack, swatted away by DeWitt, and it's saved in bounds by Brooks. Has there been a better player on the floor than Gerald Brooks tonight? I don't think so. Hesitation to the rack.
Wow!
Holy smokes! Gerald Brooks with a spin in the English. Oh, my goodness. Terry Leak is fired up in front of us as well. We'll step aside as the RiverSharks have cracked 100. 187 with 3:19 left here in the fourth. Wow.
How did they get to 100? It was 90.
Your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Pretty looking shooting from Fuqua here tonight. Man in his face, doesn't matter. A little step back, and the lefty buries the triple. Gerald Brooks has had the answer all night tonight, though,
He's had
for the RiverSharks.
At least 5 3-pointers for Gerald Brooks. Fuqua hit back-to-back trays to get it back to within 8 points.
Kenyon Smith with the basketball between the circles is going to bounce it to Fuqua. Picked up defensively by Terry Evans. He'll try to back in, and then a fadeaway along the baseline's not going to go, but Evans got a piece of the arm.
Shot was blocked, but he did commit the foul. That's the 4th on Evans.
There's no chance for the Groove to put some points up on the scoreboard without the clock ticking.
At the line for the Windy City Groove, Nate Fuqua.
187. RiverSharks, who once led this one by 27. The closest the Groove got all night was 3. Fuqua's shot on the way, and it is true. And to win or lose, I've been impressed with the Groove here tonight. I really have. They were short men tonight. Played last night. And boy, have they put in a heck of an effort, especially here especially in that third quarter.
Well, I'm really impressed here in the fourth quarter because they don't look like they've slowed down. They're not committing reach fouls when they get tired. You have to figure they're a little winded right now, but they're not committing touch reach fouls because they're tired.
Evans trying to take his man one-on-one.
Oh,
and
that was
he
a pretty
left
move.
It short.
Yeah.
Stolen away on the other end, though, by Gerald Brooks. Guess who? He might have been able to take on the Groove just himself tonight.
Yeah, but Al Grushkin, you hear him in the background yelling, slow, slow. He wanted him to work a little clock. That time he takes it past Gwynn and gets it.
102-89. 2:25 left. Nice pass down the lane. Oh, get that out of here. No, it was on its way down. Evans had the block, but pretty easy goaltending call there. That's good if you're you're playing in your backyard with your brother. That's a block.
Oh yeah.
Especially in my family when 6 foot's about as tall as you get. And there's a foul called, a little push off on Hogg on the inbound.
Boy, I thought that could have gone on Gwynn.
Wow. 11-point contest now with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. That's 2 team fouls for both of these squads here in the fourth as well, just to keep an eye on the free throw situation. That's Gwynn Jr. with it. Now back out to Fuqua. Pump faked on the shot, trying to get it inside. Now step back jumper. That's not going to go off the heel of the iron. And here comes the Brandon Hogg the other direction off the window. Rattled in. Got it to drop, and that's a couple of 4 points for Hogg unanswered.
Yeah, they're going to have to start shooting their way back into this one and starting to foul.
Kenyon Smith steps in, the long 2, that's not going to go, and the rebound snared by the RiverSharks.
Well, now it looks like the Groove maybe is starting to run out of steam a little bit.
Walking across the timeline, that's Gerald Brooks, and he'll create some space between him and Givens. Now he'll race right past him. To the rack he goes, off the window with a left, no good. Couldn't get the rebound put back, but they'll reset the shot clock, and now into the center circle it goes. Brandon Hogg will stand there with Fuqua on him. They're going to watch the shot clock, Trying to shake past Fuqua. Now Hogg lost it again. Just does save it on this side of the floor. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. To the hoop he goes. Right-handed. That's not going to go. Rebound is snared by Terry Evans, and he'll throw it back outside, and the RiverSharks will run some more clock. Under a minute left.
Four corners now.
Little Princeton offense, and there's a foul called, a reach-in on Marvin Gwynn Jr. out of Parkland College.
Number 10, Marvin Gwynn Jr.
Just the third team foul. With 54.4 left. Game 2 coming up after this one, the Flex and the Steam. And right now it's just the RiverSharks trying to salt this one away. To the rack, that's Hogg. No help defensively. He's going to hit the layup, was pushed on his way, and he'll head to the free throw line to try to finish off the three-point play. And the Groove looks like they are succeeding, or seceding. Seceding, is that the word I'm looking for?
Not quite sure why Nate committed that foul.
There's that one foul you were talking about that they haven't been committing, that tired, cheap stretch-out foul.
Yeah, Nate was beat. There's inside of a minute, you're down 13.
Free throw knocked down by Hogg. 40 seconds left. 107-91. RiverSharks over their season average in points. There's a shot on a right-handed runner. That's not going to go. Gwynn hits the court, though, and he'll head to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Foul on Brandon Hogg.
Second personal, third team foul. At the line for the Groove.
It's been all Gerald Brooks tonight for the RiverSharks. He has had an outstanding game as the free throw is knocked down by Gwynn. And again, not just the Flex and the Steam coming up, but at 7:30 we'll tip it off. The Swarm hosting the Force. That up in Champaign. Missed the second free throw, but the rebound, couldn't be controlled by the Groove, and now it's RiverShark basketball. Far side of the floor, Gerald Brooks. A couple of dribbles between some players, lost his footing. Now he had it stolen away. Gwynn behind the back, lost it. Now it lands in the lap of Morgan, up and under, off the window and in. Made that look pretty fancy. 12 seconds left, and this one's all about over here. Hogg will walk it up court. 6 seconds left. And that's it, folks. They'll clock the final 2 seconds, and it's in the books. 107-94. The St. Louis RiverSharks improved to 6-0 at the Family Arena, and 6-2 overall as the Windy City Groove dropped to 2-7 on the young season. We'll step aside, come back, recap this one, go through the stats for you, and then we'll reset things for game number 2, Flex and the Steam, coming up in about half an hour. Stick around, though. Post-game show coming up after this on the...
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it. He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Back inside the Family Arena, Jason Troop alongside Craig Fada, where we just watched the St. Louis RiverSharks up in the Windy City Groove by a final of 107-94. RiverSharks improving to 6-2, 6-0 here on the court at the Family Arena, and the Windy City Groove dropped to 2-7 overall. A valiant effort, though, for Windy City, a team that played last night, a team that was missing a couple of their players, including their leading scorer. They were down 27 points at one time in this contest, but battled back to close within 3 before finally again succumbing 107-94 in what was a heck of a contest. I had a blast watching Nate Fuqua play. That guy's got a pretty shot, but it was all about Gerald Brooks today for the St. Louis RiverSharks, who did it both offensively and defensively tonight. A very impressive showing for him and the St. Louis RiverSharks defense. Again, this was a Windy City team that really couldn't get much going offensively, especially in that first half. And they started hitting a few shots in the second part of the contest, third quarter especially, and then in the fourth. Never really going away, but the RiverSharks seemed like they had an answer for every big shot that was hit as the game got close in that third quarter. And again, they were able to hold on to a 107-94 win. And Craig, I know you got to agree with me on this one. It was an impressive showing for Windy City. Coming off that game last night and being short man. I mean, they were without their head coach, for crying out loud.
Back-to-back heartbreaking losses for Windy City. It came down to the last shot last night, and really it came down to some open shots that they did not hit tonight. They could very well have taken the lead in the third quarter had they been able to knock down some open jumpers. Nate Fuqua finally hit a couple of threes back-to-back on back-to-back possessions in that fourth quarter to draw back to within 8, but you know, you look at all the open jumpers that Windy City missed, and you think, my goodness, you know, it's a kind of a golden opportunity to come down here and steal one.
When you look at the scoring stats, and first for the Windy City Groove, it was Nate Fuqua who finished the night leading the way, 25 points for Fuqua. Did hit 3 of 5 from downtown, all those coming in the second half. Christopher Dillard, a solid game as well. He had 14 other players in double digits. Levante Douglas with a dozen. Sam Morgan had a dozen. And Demetrius Hayward, matching his jersey number, he had 11 as well. Kenyon Smith poured in 9. Marvin Gwynn Jr. had 5. And Jordan Johnson with 4. Kenny Gibbons had a pair himself. All that adds up to 94 points for the Windy City Groove in the scoring category. On the flip side of things, it was Gerald Brooks leading the way, 33 points, 6 of 8 shooting from distance for Brooks. Terry Leak poured in 23 himself. Brandon Hogg and Keith DeWitt each had 21 as well, so 4 players scoring over 20 points for the RiverSharks in the contest. Nobody else had double digits. Kenny McGowan with 6, Terry Evans with 3, that's it.
Only 2 other players scored.
6 players total scored for the RiverSharks, but 4 of them over 20 points. And again, Gerald Brooks leading the way with 33 points, 6 of 8 shooting from distance. An impressive game for Gerald Brooks, to say the least. Nate Fuqua added 10 points, or 10 rebounds as well, to finish the game with a double-double. And on the flip side for the Gateway Steam, it was Keith DeWitt. 12 rebounds as well. Terry Evans had 11, and it was a 42-32 rebounding edge in favor of the RiverSharks over the course of the contest as well. Part of the reason they had those few more shots and to knock down a few more of them as well, especially from outside. It was bad shooting early in the contest by the Windy City Groove, and the RiverSharks were knocking down threes pretty much throughout the night. It was I think pretty impressive shooting performance from the St. Louis RiverSharks when you think about it. 11 of 18. How about that? 11 of 18 from three-point land.
Well, when one of your guys goes 6 for 8, that really helps your shooting percentage.
And they were big ones too. It wasn't like he just hit a couple of them down the stretch. He had some big answered three balls.
Yeah, absolutely. As well. Especially when he hit the 3 ball after Fuqua hit back-to-back threes. That got Windy City within 8 at 95-87, and then Brooks answered to make it 98-87, got the lead back to 11, and that was as close as it would get.
107-94, your final score here tonight. Let's wrap this one up. We've got Game 2 coming up here in a little bit as well. It's the Bloomington Flex on the court against the Gateway Steam. Should be a fun one here. Stick around. Game 2 of our double dip coming up. That's going to do it for the broadcast here in Game 1. I'm Jason Troop for Craig Fade. Again, repeating the final score for the final time tonight, 107-94. RiverSharks improved to 6-2. Windy City drops to 2-7. We'll be back with Game 2 in about 30 minutes.